But today, we're talking about how to have a great sale. And I think that especially as we head into the summer months and start getting really ready for the holiday selling season, this is the time to be talking about how to have a great sales promotion and how to get customers actually ordering stuff and actually engaging. I see a lot of times people say that they had a sale or put out a promotion or put out a special or whatever, and it's just crickets. You just don't hear anything. Nobody seems to engage. You either don't get any orders, or you get maybe one order, or maybe one booking. And so I think that we have to kind of change the idea of how we do it and really kind of dive into the psychology of what makes a sales promotion work. It is not just picking a product and giving it a discount. There's a whole lot more to it. And in corporate America, there are entire teams that work on this and put together these sales promotions. But for you doing it individually, you have to be able to almost kind of do the same thing without that team. Now, chances are your corporate office has a team that does this. And so the sales and the promotional things that they put around these, of course, are well thought out and have a purpose. And sometimes, I remember when I was new in direct sales, I would see it and I would be like, why are they putting that on? Like, what? And now that I understand it, I can see where there is, sometimes you have a sale on something in like February to line up what's going to happen in October. And so when it comes to the sales from the corporate office, number one, you should always be promoting what your corporate office promotes. So if they have, participate in all of their incentives, try for all of their challenges. Will you get all of them? No. Will all of them be great? No, it's okay. You have your own, and we'll talk about this more in a minute, but you and your customers, your audience, your social media followers, your friends, whatever, they're going to be very unique to you. And so the thing about a sales promotion is they are not one size fits all. And that's why sometimes if you throw one out there and you hear crickets and nothing happens, it doesn't mean that the sale was lousy. It doesn't mean that the products are lousy. It doesn't mean that you're lousy. It means that it didn't match your target audience and it didn't get to where we need to go. All right. So, oh my gosh, I've already talked for 7 minutes. I gotta forget. All right. So, first of all, not every sales promotion and not every sale is created the same. All right. You have to decide first what the actual goal or objective is for the sale. Now, I know that you're like, Lindsay, we need to, sell and book and recruit. That's our, our three biggest things, right? Okay, absolutely. But when you're talking about really putting together a sales promotion, and this is what those teams do in corporate, you really have to kind of decide what it is that you want. Is this a sale to make more money? Is this about sales? And if so, is it a sale on a new product? Are you trying to maybe offload some inventory that you have? Are you trying to generate some new excitement about an old product? Or is it just kind of a blanket, everything is on sale? There are times that just doing a straight, something on sale for across the board or whatever is good. But if you really can target down more and go down to what product you want to sell and why, you're going to get more sales. Understand that we are solution creators, okay? So everything that we offer, everything that this entire industry offers, creates a solution to a problem, okay? No matter what it is. If you're in skincare, it may be anti-aging, it may be oily skin because that feels gross. It may be, curing acne. If you're in, food, it could be making meals healthier, faster, tastier, whatever. If you're in jewelry, it could be accessorizing without, going overboard or whatever. If you are in home decor, it's making your home warm and inviting and all this kind of stuff. So we have solutions to every single problem out there. So when you are creating a sale, you have to first think, okay, this is the solution. You have to have a sale that matches the problem. So it has to be something that, you find the people with that pain point is what it's called, and then you're able to make the sale. If you are trying to do a sale that garners recruiting or even booking parties, then that strategy is obviously going to be completely different, because those are, it's kind of abstract. They're not necessarily money driven. And so you have to get a little bit more creative with that. Is your goal bookings? Do you want to fill up that calendar? You have to get specific. Are you wanting to book online parties? Are you wanting to book offline parties? Are you wanting to book catalog parties? You can have a sales promotion that maybe incentivizes, and this is something that I do suggest that you do, is to incentivize, especially over the summer, booking those parties. So there may be something, because again, people still spend money during the summer. They still have pain points. They still have things that they need during the summer. But it's when you have the solution that you introduce to their problem at the right time, which is, I think, almost, that is when you're able to get the sale. All right. So targeting. Over the course of a lifetime, loyal customers spend upwards of 10 times the amount spent by average customers. So how do you know that you have a loyal customer? How do you build a loyal customer? What would make you build or become a loyal customer? If you watched our Facebook Live with Jen Fitzgerald last month, we talked about sending out surveys, and I think it's really cool. I've gotten a couple surveys from you guys, which has been really neat to see that you are not only using what we talked about, but to see the different questions that you have asked. A survey is a fantastic way for you to figure out what it is that your audience wants, needs, expects, and really how you can fill it. Again, you always have to think of yourself as that solution creator. And so you can survey and then maybe incentivize the survey. There are, like, SurveyMonkey is a great one. I'm trying to think what the other survey program was that I used. But we've dropped it in the group. We talked about it on that Facebook Live, which you can find in the videos section of the community. But you can incentivize the survey and customize it so that as soon as they are finished, there is maybe a little freebie download or some sort of little incentive at the end of completing the survey. Chances are you have done a survey or answer, and here's the thing, don't make them crazy long. Maybe 5 questions that just kind of, and they can even be, how did you find me? Did you come to one of my parties? This is great to do, especially like in Facebook groups. Like, how did you find me? Did you come to a party? Were you suggested on Facebook? Did a friend add you? Like, those are, the options or whatever. And you can say, what is your favorite product? Or what is, a product, even a product that you like from our line? These are questions that are going to really kind of give you an idea of your customer base. It was really funny, and I do this a lot in Party Plan Divas, where I set up like a poll, right? It's like a survey, and it's the one thing that I will say, the good and the bad. The good is that you get a really clear idea of what it is that your people want and desire and need and all that kind of stuff. The bad thing is, number one, you get a really clear idea, and it may not be what you like most or what you want, and it may also be a whole bunch of things. So this is all valuable information. This is your audience. These are your people. And if you're able to create a sales promotion that speaks to them, that is when you're going to get that conversion. The next thing is talking about timing. So understand that our industry is a little bit of a roller coaster. It's what makes it fun. Now, understand that our bills are not normally a roller coaster, so we need some stabilization there, right? But you can time your sales and time your promotions. That's what kind of balances it out. Look at your history. If you have been in the business for a year, what were you doing last May? What was last June? June was normally my actually it was July. July was my slowest month. June things kind of started tapering off, but July was awful. I live in Florida. It is unbelievably hot. It is vacationville. It is, you know, all these excuses that I could come up with. But the truth of the matter was that normally May was my month that I didn't work a whole lot. I would have all the end of the school stuff. I would, you know, it's just starting to get really, really warm, so we're going to the beach, all that kind of stuff. So it was me that messed up July by not working a whole lot in May. But you have to look at your history and see those patterns to know. So what I started doing was I started doing dollar days every July. And if you haven't seen, that is the one, the promotion that I picked my #1 product, which was about $40. And depending on what day of the month you held your qualifying party, whatever the date of the party was, is what you would pay. So if you held a party on July 1st, and you had a qualifying party, which for me was $350, which I made half of, so I still profited highly, even if I, you know, whatever. But you got to purchase that $40 item for $1. If you had that party on July 5th, then a qualifying party, then you paid $5 for that $40 item. But it was my dollar days, and I did it every July. And what ended up happening was that, first of all, I could still goof off a little bit in May, although that's, you know, not what I'm suggesting. But it balanced out my July, and my customers got to where, and the thing is too, you know, we have July 4th holiday in there, so there was a few days that, you know, there wasn't a party, but it would also help me really front load my month. So I would have a party the 1st, the 2nd, the 6th, 7th, 8th, you know, and kind of, because everybody wanted those early dates. But I had the promotion going on for the whole month. So sometimes I would have people who would book, or who would come to the party on July 1st, and they would want to get in on the same incentive. So I'd book them for the 15th. And I would end up with 2 party bookings, and we just slammed the whole month. Great thing about that too was that gave me so many contacts in the month of July that it really ended up boosting my calendar. So as I headed into the holiday selling season, I had a ton of new customers, I had a ton of new hostesses, and I had people that were really interested in the business, because I started talking about how I was going to need people for the holidays as early as July. So look at your history. When are the months that are a little bit slow for you? What can you do to kind of balance that out? Dollar days is just one of the incentives. We, of course, have a ton more on the site that I wouldn't have time to go through. If you haven't been in the business for a year, if you're brand new, or you're kind of, ask around. You know, we can start a discussion. Let's better stay positive, but we can start a discussion in the community about, you know, what is your biggest month of the year, and you know, and how do you kind of balance everything out throughout the year if you haven't been in the business long enough, because we all kind of go up and down at the same time. All right, so let's talk about how to create the promotion without giving away the farm, because the other thing too is that we are in the business to make money. Yes, absolutely, we love, you know, helping other people. We love the girl time with, you know, the parties. We love the charities that our corporate offices support, and yada, yada, yada. I mean, I get that. But we're in the business to make money. We need to make money. Money makes the world go round, right? So you need to be able to create a promotion and create a sale without giving away all of your profits. Most of the direct sales, I think, runs between about a 20% and about a 50% buying discount or markup. So you can't, you know, if you make 25% and you're giving away 10% on a product, like, you're literally giving away 40% of your profit. We don't want to do that. That's way, you know, no. If the corporate office is doing that and you're still getting your 25%, okay, you know, fine, you can promote theirs. But you want to make sure that you are getting all of the money that you can, not because you're greedy, but because we're in the business to make money. So one of the things that you can do is offer a value-added service, and we talked about this, I believe it was last week. And this is something that you can add to as kind of like a purchase with purchase, but it doesn't cost anything. It may cost you a little bit of time, so it needs to be a service of some sort or an additional incentive. So it can be a free report, a free consultation. I talk about the Pampered Chef brownie pan that was presented as this is perfect for the people who like the crunchy part of the brownie because it makes little individual brownies. Well, the thing is, number one, I don't like the crunchy part of the brownies. I'm the girl that eats the very center, so that would not be something that I would want. However, later I saw someone who was selling the brownie pan, and when you purchase the brownie pan, you got a free cookbook to go along with it. And I not only own 3 of the brownie pans myself, but I bought several of them for friends, my dad, my best friend, weddings, you know, whatever. Because I honestly think everybody who has a kitchen needs a brownie pan, because there's so many other things that you can cook in it besides just brownies. But the point was, when I purchased, she emailed me the cookbook. So, I mean, it literally, she just sat down, she created, and it was not, I mean, like she didn't go over and above. This was not this big professional blogger picture, you know, whatever. But it spawned all these ideas for things that I could cook. So I do omelets in there now. I do lasagna in there now. I do my meatballs in there now. Like, seriously, everybody needs one. But they are these just perfect little things. But the thing is, it didn't cost her anything. It cost her a little bit of time to put that cookbook together, and that was it. But I bought it, I shared it, I suggested it, whatever, because that incentivized that purchase was to be able to get that free cookbook. I bought a bean pot because I was being put into, she actually did a recipe Facebook group. And so what she did was in the Facebook group, she would share recipes. We all shared recipes. We all talked about what we were using our bean pots for, you know, that kind of stuff. Your value-added service can be being added to a Facebook group if that Facebook group is really providing value. And that, of course, you know, has to be something that you keep up and that you also encourage your people to be a part of as well. A sale has to be personal. When you are doing a sales pitch of any kind, you have to imagine the other person is thinking, what's in it for them? Okay. I think somebody was saying the radio station WIIFM is what's in it for me. When you are putting together a sales promotion, when you are talking to people who you want to purchase or book or whatever, you have to focus on what they are getting out of it. It can't be what you need. Don't have a sale because, you know, you had an unexpected bill come up, or because you know, you're about to lose your status as a consultant or whatever. If either of those two things happen, by the way, which happens to the best of us, that would not be the reason. Don't tell them that part, okay? But you have that, because they don't care. That's what's in it for you. What's in it for you is that you can still keep your consultant status, all right? And even though we have friends and stuff like that, we don't want to come from a place of desperation. So instead, talk about what is in it for them. Why would they want to engage in that sale? Why would they want to give you money or book a party or whatever? When you know more about your customers, which is that importance of having that survey, for instance, when you know enough about your customers, you can create that personal side. So let's say that you do a survey and you're in skincare and a bunch of your customers are really dealing with wanting anti-aging or wanting sun care or wanting, you know, something like that because it's the summertime, then you can create the sale around that information. But it's important to know that if you've got people that could not care less about anti-aging, they're just trying to fix, you know, their acne or whatever, or trying to, I guess anti-aging is you looking younger. The point is, if you are hitting the ball this way at something that you think they kind of sort of might be interested in just because you offer it in your product line, you may be missing what people are actually wanting. Make sure that you plan ahead. Having a sale, I want you to, this is your homework. I want you to look, this is the middle of May. Look at the rest of the year, okay? This is not the time to start, a sale that's going to happen tomorrow. You need to have a little bit of planning. You need to put these things in place. You need to have the time to survey your people, to figure out what they want, to put together the promotion and figure out how exactly you're going to lay it all out. Is it something that they will be able to order online? Are they going to have to email you? Do they have to go through your Facebook group? If it's a booking, how are you going to make sure that you have the date available that they want? How do you start the hostess coaching? Like there's more to it than just throwing a sale out there. So take the time to plan, because a well-organized sale is certainly going to be much more effective. So maybe if you're going to do dollar days, it's a great time. Do it in July. You have 6 weeks to talk about it, to lead up to it, and to get organized for it. That's about, kind of the lead time that you want. I guarantee you, your corporate office, they are working on your Christmas stuff, if not working on 2018. One of the things that I learned as a blogger is how far ahead these campaigns are going. And I can tell you that marketing teams are easily 6 months ahead of everything that is upcoming. During a sale, you do want to create a limited time offer that gives a little bit of a sense of urgency. Don't run sales, let them drone on and on. A sale or a promotion should never last an entire month unless it is something like dollar days, because that still gives a sense of urgency to book as soon as possible, because people don't want to pay more than they absolutely have to and stuff. But having a sale that lasts an entire month, here's the thing, and we talk about this when we talk about how to have a great customer newsletter. I'm gonna be quick. I know I'm running out of time. If you give someone a short amount of time to make a decision, then they will make a decision quickly. If you give them time, it is human nature to procrastinate. It is human nature to put it off. If you run a sale for the entire month of June, for instance, then someone who reads about that sale on June 2nd or June 3rd or whatever, if they've got a whole nother 27 days to act on it, chances are they're not going to. But if it's only the first 10 days of the month, or it's all something along those lines, you really kind of target that in. Something also too that I forgot to mention is when you go back to what's in it for me and targeting stuff like that, don't give people a bazillion choices. I watched a video yesterday that Mike showed me, and we was talking about the paradox of choice and how confused people do not make decisions. And so if you just say, here's my 250 products that you can choose from, it's overwhelming. Imagine, yourself walking into a car lot and you literally can have every single car that's there. You just have to pick one. Think of how overwhelming that feeling is. So give them limited options, limited time. We try to, rapid fire and no, I want a sale to be able to get to every single person and every single whatever and hit every. That's not the way to an effective sale. And I think that's one of the #1 problems that we make, is that we don't target and we don't, kind of bring it down and bring it together. So you want a limited option for a limited time that is going to match somebody's need. All right, so that's kind of our 3 things. All right, and then the final thing is to just get the word out, okay? During a sale, you want to tell as many people as possible. This part is a little bit of, the rapid fire or whatever. This part, you want to reach as many people as you can, but you're still giving them limited options, limited time, and a very clear solution. But you want to find as many people as possible with that problem, okay? So sending out an email blast, have a catchy headline. Send out your email blast and make sure that they know that they only have X amount of days to act on it. Make it very simple. Use big, bright, beautiful pictures. Have a very simple link to order or process to order. If they have to email you back, or if they have to Normally you just want to be able to either check out or email you back. Like, make it as easy as possible, and you'll get that sale. Use social media, utilize social media, look at your insights. If you're using Facebook, when is the best time to post? When are your people online the most? Ask your friends to share it. There's this stigma about, people in direct sales and whatever on Facebook. We got to break that, you guys. But one of the ways that that stigma has come up, is people doing it wrong. So the diva's got to do it right. Don't be afraid to just pick up the phone and call. If you have a good customer relationship, if you've got that loyalty, then there should be no problem picking up the phone and calling and saying, hey, I have this awesome new product. I thought of you because I know that you blah, 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 fill in the blank. Make it personal. This is why. And I wanted to make sure you knew about it. And also, I would say phone call / text, because I got to say, in 2017, text, whether you like it or not, is the new means of communication. Most people would 100% rather text than call. My Mary Kay girl, literally, you guys, lives across the street. Okay, I can throw a baseball and hit her car, and she still texts me all the time. She could walk. She could literally knock on my door. She could drop off a message. She could drop whatever. She just shoots me a text, and I love it. I love it, and I'm loyal to her because she's right there, because she texts me. So don't be afraid to text. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call. There's also direct mail, which you may think is like, oh my gosh, really? Like, who does that anymore? But the thing is, who does that anymore? It's almost this, this forgotten thing. It doesn't make it any less effective. How neat would it be to get something in the mail? This is part of our Diva Success System. I say to send out a note of gratitude or recognition, to just kind of brighten somebody's mailbox, kind of thing. Direct mail, it is a little bit more expensive, but it is also just as effective. 98% of people open their mail. So, that is an option as well. And we have a ton of examples of like postcards that are cheaper to send, and letters and all that kind of stuff in our template library that would work as well. All right, so your homework is to look at the rest of the year and plan out what your sales are. And then it is to target, to think about, what solutions do you want to create, and how will you find the people that need that? Create those solutions, get really, really clear on it, the solution, and then get it out to as many people as possible that have the problems at the right time, and create the sense of urgency.